I'm going to share with you the brutal truth about procrastination that no one on YouTube is talking about. Now, this could be the very thing that changes your entire life for the better. It changed my life. Be honest. How many times have you taken the courses, read the books, watched the podcasts, and you were even given a step-by-step action plan, and you still didn't do it? You know exactly what to do, but you just aren't doing it. What stops so many people from taking action on the very things that can turn their dreams into their reality? If this happens to you, you're not alone. In fact, 70 to 90% of people know what to do, but don't consistently do it. The CDC reports that 80% of adults know they should exercise regularly, yet only 23% actually meet the weekly recommendations. 95% of dieters regain the weight they lose even though they know exactly what works and what they need to do. Entrepreneurs and creators say the same thing. Knowing what to do isn't the problem. Doing it consistently is. How would your life be different if you consistently took action on the things you already know would get you results? Why is it that when it comes to executing on your dreams, you stall, you scroll, you come up with some excuse, and you procrastinate? The truth is, there is nothing wrong with you. But there is something deeper going on that most people are not aware of. Procrastination is actually a subconscious survival strategy. In other words, your procrastination is a behavior your subconscious mind has implemented to keep you safe. The real question is, safe from what? This video is about what's happening below your conscious awareness that causes you to pull the emergency brake on your dreams. Because once you understand what's driving your procrastination, you can change it. And when you do, your life changes too. You won't have to remember all the ways that you should be different and all the hacks you should implement. You'll just be different because the very thing that's blocking your success, once you update this, will be the very thing that fuels it. Procrastination is the act of delaying or avoiding tasks you intend to do, even though you know putting them off will likely create stress, guilt, or even negative consequences. At its core, procrastination isn't a time management problem, although on the surface it may look like that. It's your subconscious mind's way of protecting you from discomfort, fear, or perceived threats, even if it means sabotaging your dreams and goals. What I'm about to share with you is an important concept you need to understand. We all have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. Your conscious mind, which is located right here behind your forehead, this is your prefrontal cortex. It's your logical part that sets your goals and makes plans for the future, but it only controls about 5% of your thoughts and actions. Your subconscious mind runs the show behind the scenes. It drives about 93 to 97% of your behaviors and decisions, and it does this through your habits, your beliefs, your emotions, and your survival strategies. Your conscious mind cares about the quality of your life. You know, are you fulfilling on your dreams? Are you having the life that you desire? But your subconscious mind doesn't care about that. It only cares about the quantity of your life, how long you live. So it will always prioritize your safety over your dreams. Now remember, this is running 97% of the show. So when it comes to your mind, safety trumps fulfillment. And that's where we run into an issue. Here's the thing that's going to change everything. If what you consciously want doesn't feel safe to your subconscious mind, guess which one's going to win? Your subconscious mind will win. So when achieving your goals doesn't feel safe to your subconscious mind, you're going to procrastinate and self-sabotage, even when you know better. So what do most people do in this case? They take another course, they watch another procrastination video on YouTube, hoping the new tactic will fix their problem. And when it doesn't, they beat themselves up and they feel even worse. But here is the piece that changes everything. When your subconscious mind feels safe with what you consciously desire, procrastination is going to stop. And executing on your dreams is going to become the natural next step. And then your dreams start to manifest into reality. Procrastination is a survival strategy. Your subconscious mind believes taking action on your goals or dreams is not safe, period. In fact, it believes that taking action will actually threaten your survival. I'm going to ask you this, and if you feel open, please share your answers in the comments down below. What might you lose that you value when you succeed? And I'll pin that question in the comments down below so it's written out for you so you can really sit with it, because this is a brain twister that might open up a lot for you. So the way our subconscious mind helps us to survive happens on many different levels, and I'm going to go over that with you right now. Now, this can be a complicated topic to understand, but I'm going to do my best to explain it, and I know you're going to get it because the people who tune into my channel are very smart. And once you hear this, you'll have a completely different perspective on why you're not taking action. Your subconscious mind guarantees your survival in many different ways. One of those ways is by making sure that you're part of the group. If you think back to caveman days, we needed the group in order to survive. Doing it alone would mean getting attacked by a saber-toothed tiger, and then bye-bye human. So even though we're not in caveman times anymore, our first group is our family, and we can even extend that out to our ancestors too. Anyone in your ancestral line who's connected to you being alive today, so this is your biological family line, you are subconsciously and energetically connected to them. And one of the things most people don't talk about is ancestral trauma. Unresolved pain from generations before us, believe it or not, can cause you to procrastinate. If your ancestors risked everything and lost it all, your system may resist taking big risks. And most humans are unconsciously loyal to the pain of their ancestors and end up repeating it in their own life. If you want to learn more about ancestral trauma and how that's connected to self-sabotage, you can check out this video. I'll link it up here for you. Let me share a little story with you so that it can make a little bit more sense. In a session I did with a client on procrastination, what showed up was that his great-grandfather started his own business, but this happened right before the Great Depression, and he invested everything he had into his business, and then the Great Depression hit, and he lost everything and ended up taking his own life, unfortunately, because he was unable to support his family. Now, my client couldn't move forward with taking action on his business because he was unconsciously connected to his great-grandfather's trauma. What gets encoded, which isn't logical, of course, this is subconscious, is that if I go after my dreams of having a business, I will die. And the trauma lives in your cells. This is called epigenetics. You have no conscious recollection of this, but your DNA does. So doesn't procrastination look completely different when you see it from this angle? Another way your subconscious mind will protect you is by holding on to beliefs. Keep in mind, these are subconscious beliefs. They exist outside of your conscious awareness, so you might not even know that you have them. Some subconscious beliefs that I've uncovered in my sessions with people who are struggling with procrastination, one of them is the fear of success. What shows up is if I'm successful, I'll be seen, and if I'm seen, I could be judged, attacked, and even sued. If I'm successful, I'll have to work more and I'll have to lose time with my family. If your mind thinks that success is going to cost you your health, your freedom, or connection, it will sabotage your dreams to keep you safe and a part of the tribe. Before I got into this work, I had a fear of success too. I saw my father work all the time, and he was rarely home, and he spent most of his time at work and not with us. So my subconscious mind learned that if I'm successful, I'm not going to see my family. Fortunately, you can reprogram this to remove these blocks, which is exactly what I did. And now it's the thing that I help other people with. If you're interested in learning more about how we can work together to remove your subconscious blocks to success, please schedule your complimentary 15-minute Zoom call. The link is in the description below. Next, we have the fear of rejection. If you really think about it, procrastination protects you from putting yourself out there and being judged. Your subconscious mind wants you to belong to the tribe. That's how it guarantees your survival. If you shine too bright, you risk being excluded, criticized, or even abandoned. So you stay small and hidden. It's the safest choice that your subconscious mind can make for you. Let me give you an example of how this can work. Have you ever lost a bunch of weight or have gotten into great shape only to have your so-called friends tell you you've changed? Almost like becoming healthier and a better version of yourself is a bad thing. The reason this happens is because your growth shines a light on how they're not growing and changing. And since they don't want to evolve, they tear you down. And this is kind of like the crabs in a bucket. If one crab tries to escape the bucket, the other crabs will pull it down and rip off its arms and legs so that it can't escape. So this gets back to my point that your tribe can positively or negatively impact your success in life. Next, let's look at perfectionism. Perfectionism is a form of procrastination. You might think that perfectionism means you have high standards, but it's actually a survival strategy. Many perfectionists learned as kids that if I'm perfect, I'll be seen and maybe I'll get love. But since being perfect is impossible, the subconscious mind will procrastinate through perfectionism. You never get it done because you're too focused on the tiny details. If you want to be successful as an entrepreneur, you need to focus on getting it done, learning, and then iterating. It's about progress, not perfection. Next, we have the imposter syndrome. This is another way that procrastination can rear its ugly head. The imposter syndrome whispers, "Who are you to do this?" It's this deep fear that you'll be found out as not being good enough. And this often comes from childhood, moments when your gifts weren't valued by your caregivers. So instead of stepping forward, you keep doing things like taking courses, reading books, hoping and waiting that you'll be good enough one day. instead of taking action. Until you reprogram this belief that you're not good enough, you will always have to strive to be seen and get love, and you'll always stay stuck. And finally, here's one that most people don't talk about. It's inner child loyalty. Sometimes we fail in order to stay loyal to our parents. If you grow up in a home watching your parents struggle, your subconscious mind might say, if I succeed, I'll betray my father or mother. So subconsciously, you will sabotage your money, your health, your happiness, just so you don't outshine them or risk losing connection. It's not logical. Remember, it's subconscious. Remember, your subconscious mind guarantees your survival by having you be like your tribe. And it's running the show and quietly sabotaging your success. Now, sometimes, if someone becomes more financially successful than their parents ever were, they'll unconsciously sabotage another area of their life just to balance out the scales. So even though they might have money, they'll sabotage their romantic relationships or even their health, or sometimes even both. So how do we break free from this? First, awareness is key, which is exactly what this video is about. I want you to start seeing your procrastination as trauma that needs to be healed. This is not a character flaw. This is a survival adaptation. And when you can see it correctly, then you can get the correct help. So just remember, there's nothing wrong with you. Your brain is working perfectly as designed. If you're truly ready to break free from this, this is what I help people do. I'm a master at reprogramming the subconscious mind and healing ancestral trauma so that you don't have to unconsciously repeat the past trauma that you've experienced or your ancestors' past trauma. Just like history repeats itself, so does family history. When you get your subconscious mind to feel safe with what you consciously desire, you'll be unstoppable. Execution on your dreams and goals will become natural for you, and you won't have to force yourself to be different. You'll just be different. If you want to go deeper into removing your subconscious blocks to success, subscribe so we can stay connected. And together, we can eliminate subconscious self-sabotage. And if you'd like to learn more about how the subconscious mind is at the root of your self-sabotage, you can check out this video here.